Thank you, Olga, for that warm introduction. I don't need to say anything about myself. Yes, that has happened. Thank you. Well, thank you for having me here. And I'm very, very thrilled to be here, a little bit stressed, but it's OK. And I will be talking about AI, evidently. And we kind of live in a gold rush of AI, right? People are rushing for AI things, want to know about AI. And as a human and an intellectual, I suppose you are already judged you, you cannot fight the urge to make sense of the unknown. And that's normal. But you kind of have this challenge about the information. It's not like you don't have an option to find out something new. And that exactly is my point. Have you ever felt like you are kind of drowning in the inconsistency and volume of things related to AI, the information? Well, I know that I have, and I see somebody nodding along, so that's good, you feel me. And I will be giving you the guide to most common things, how AI has transformed content generation. And if you will explore it with me, I think we will have quite a journey, and maybe I will spark some ideas, inspiration, how you can apply it to fields in e-commerce. And AI has a kind of very large scale. It broadens our perspective. So we will kind of look upon not only the content, a little bit introduction about how it all started, and hopefully you will gain the idea where it has all led us. And introduction about AI. Well, if somebody would make presentation about me, hopefully that will happen someday, I would like them to ask me about that and consult me. So that's what I did. I took one solution that I guess all of you are familiar with, ChatGPT, and I asked it to introduce itself to you. So I guess that's my time, and you know it all. No, sorry. This will keep going on. But yeah, so as you can see there's an engaging comic that it generated for me, and it has some flaws. And I didn't regenerate the image, because that proves my point. It has capabilities. AI solutions have a lot of capabilities, but it also comes with a couple of limitations. Let's explore the limitations as well as the areas we can do it in. And AI is something that's basically everywhere now. And it's such a disruptive technology. And this is exactly the term that I love, disruptive, because it has touched and affected a lot of the fields, a lot of the areas we live in. And just think about, a couple of years back, AI couldn't detect cats within a YouTube video with more than 16% accuracy. And what do we have now? Now we see Taylor Swift selling Dutch ovens on Tumblr, and her fans just going wild, while Taylor just knows nothing about it. So the technology, it's funny, but it's also a bit scary. So you need to kind of be aware about all this broad spectrum that AI can be used. And there are a lot of things that are already sophisticated enough, and there are a lot of the places where it needs to be perfected. So merchants can see information where they can use it. Maybe development people can see some prospects, where to go. So there are perfection available. And when I talk about content, I invite you to think in a little bit broader perspective. Because if you hear content, it's not just text, right? It's the visual dimension as well, videos, images, and we can apply AI in all of those. So what I did, I gathered my research and wanderings from the clients, from friends, from colleagues, internet trolls. They are annoying, so they also affected this here because I had to know. So a little bit practice from my company, what we explored, and hopefully it will raise some inspiration within you, how you can apply it. because businesses nowadays have a lot of questions on their minds, like, should I fire my copywriter now? Like, is that a thing? And that's what we hear. People are kind of thinking that certain positions are obsolete now, and they are scared for their jobs. There is some truth to it, but to an extent where AI is not replacing people, instead, people who know how to use AI will be replaced by people who doesn't. And that is the part here. And actually, if you think about it, it's not bad, because AI will allow you to focus on more complicated, more focused, necessary things, also as our content team did. And we evaluated all the things, all the practices they use, and saw opportunities where we can automate something, like in news reporting or simple product descriptions. And also, like, if you get to the AI area and you are maybe not using your own module, there are easy solutions available for everyone that you can assess and use, and it's just a question about getting used to. And the first thing that you need to get used to is the prompting, because that opens up the possibility for you to get this necessary result for yourself. So, of course, this differs from different use cases and scenarios, but what our content team find out, that mostly there are a couple of elements available in all of the content creation areas. So there are the elements above me that you can see, and my tip to you is that you always start your prompt with the most important thing. And that is something that gives value by itself. Because if you provide context without the task, you don't get a lot of the useful information out of the prompt, out of the query. So it's like having a map, and there's just no destination in there. And I would ask you also to maybe try different phrasings with your prompts, because AI can understand you better if you use necessary words that they have trained on. So just see how the answer changes if you paraphrase it, and also no typos or mistakes like that, because that could also cause some trouble. And once you have that prompt, and it can differ from time to time, you can go now into the fine-tuning of the content, whether you're writing CMS page, whether you're writing a blog. And the fine-tuning, the greatest practical tip that I have found out, and maybe it won't be as remarkable to you, but to me it was, the fact that you can ask AI to evaluate itself. So before you read it, you can ask it if it's good. And how do you do it? Let's say you have content about precious metals. You're writing a blog post about something related to that area. You can ask AI, what are the main challenges for bullion retailers in this area regarding my specific use case? It will spit out some answers. And now you say, OK, does my blog post answer these questions? Maybe yes, maybe no. So it will fine-tune the text, and then only you can do the proofreading. Because if you don't have a solution that you made and you know you can trust, mostly the proofreading won't go in vain, because we need to avoid hallucinations. So do the fact-checking, be very specific about that, and just maybe add some creative tweaks where they are needed. And this doesn't only refer to CMS pages or blogs, but it also refers to smaller content, like product descriptions. And it's smaller if it's just one product. But imagine that you have this vast, big catalog. How to write product description for all of that? Well, we have played around with this thing that you can extract product titles in batch and scrape the internet for the information from the manufacturers, for example, if you have some maybe equipment. And you extract information from the manufacturer. You then add the brand and tone, what is your exact business's ideal, how it sounds, make a tweaks, and you have a lot better product description that SEO rankings will just adore. But it sounds breezy, right? It's like, oh, it's simple. Then why am I still a bit scared? Because we hear those stories around it, that some cautionary tales where someone has failed using AI. Recently, there was this LinkedIn story I saw that they pointed fingers at AI. They made a lot of the content. First, they topped the SEO rankings, and they were just drowning and they were just banned. And there, when it turned out, it wasn't like AI's fault, of course. There was just keyword stuffing and duplicate content issues that they didn't approach, because when you think about content, it doesn't matter if it's AI generated or it is created by humans. You can create trash content either way. You just need to still play by the rules. And those good SEO practices rely upon AI generated content as well. And here we have like this idea that maybe I will be banned for just using it. No, Google or any other search engine has no vendetta against AI-generated content. Exactly the opposite. So they have even changed their standards, their motto, to reflect this idea. Once there was this content by people for the people, now this is changed because they also harness AI power, so they need to comply with the practices they use themselves. And Google has always adjusted their algorithms to the technological context. So there are two that were influenced mostly by AI. One of them is EEAT. So here we got a couple of years back another part, experience, which just means that you need to be grounded in reality. Your content, your blog posts need to be grounded in reality. So especially if you are doing content in the areas of safety or finance or health, these are the top ones that are checked by this ranking factor. You need to always ensure that there's an author who is either experienced or expertise-wise credible to say these things. And that will avoid you any other bans in the future. As well, another one, this was newer, helpful content. You need to ensure that your content is helpful. And what does that mean? Like, there could be so many things that just explain the helpfulness, right? But in this sense, it just means that your content answers to the user needs. Think about what they want and try to cover it within your content. And here, the best tip that I can provide is that you need to remove the unhelpful content. You can do it by just seeing your analytics data, see what pages are not driving your traffic, remove those. You don't need that trash content because it's affecting your overall ranking. And if you will do that, you will do a lot better right away. And yes, I would kind of want to talk more maybe about SEO because that's a topic close to my heart as well. But I think the change of focus would be good. Don't you agree me? Yeah, because let's do something more visual. And AI could be also applied to image generation. And one task that our designers just were annoyed to do was creating banners week after week for the client, just changing a couple of words or changing a couple of images. And actually, you can make banners also using AI. For example, above me, you see this Midjourney being used to generate banner, and it generates it in the dimension you exactly need. You just need to be creative enough with your prompt to get what you desire. And if you have a pro plan or mega plan, you can use those images also commercially, but then you are aware that this is public domain image, which means that it can be accessible to anyone. So as long as you're okay with that part, you can do it, or you can go extra mile and go to developers and use the more module part. I know that we have a lot of those in here, and they will develop something more sophisticated, and then you will own the images as well. Another thing regarding image generation is AI helpfulness in adjusting the product images. So the face of our product. It's really important. So one thing it can do, there are solutions that can kind of unify all the images, because we have different zoom levels and different qualities and etc. So you can ask it to kind of adjust everything, and it will look more appealing for the user. Or you can use the latest also options to change the backgrounds. For example, maybe it's fall season for your product, so you want to add some leaves in the background. You don't need a photo shoot for that anymore. You can just easily do it with AI. And here the limitation is, your focus needs to lie on the quality. Quality in the sense of, does the image look realistic? Because that is what user will still want to see. And as AI progress, it's also more available to scammers. And it can create a lot of the websites that seem very realistic. So what you need to be doing, ensure that there are a lot of the trust signals in your website, ensuring that this is real, this is validated, and you will do good with that part. And it's powerful if we think about it, and it applies to a lot of the businesses, but it's not only for the big players. It's also for niche business. So one of the experience that we had, it's very small, maybe practical thing that you can do is just make image-to-image generation. So if you upload some image, you can adjust it to different contents and themes, and you can place it on different products. So here, it's the example with pets. People love pets, let's be realistic. And an additional thing is the quality. Now we have the power to turn the bad quality image to better. So your customers see the value in it, and they are not sitting at your website and thinking, is it still loading, or is it just bad quality? What happens here? So this is one point that can really affect, do some good for you. And another, maybe more moving imagery, we have videos. And the debate we have right now is stirring up around video-generated models. It has been used a lot, and it's more cost-effective, right? Because you don't need photo shoots with real people. You can generate fastly a lot of the videos for ads or for simply trying out your products and bags and everything. But here, the main limitation is the transparency, because right now there's no regulation towards it. If you need to say if this is a real person or not, it also falls down to the influencers. If you see on Instagram, there's this Eitana. Do you know that? Yes, someone is nodding. Eitana, this kind of account expresses transparently that it's generated by AI. And right now, there's a lot of other accounts that are gaining a lot of money, and people are writing to them, can I meet you? But it's not a real person, and people just don't know it. And here, my tip would be it's better, always safer to be transparent than not to be, because then your users will trust you, and also if there's some new regulation comes up tomorrow, you won't need to kind of stand in front of a judge and say, I didn't know. And, but there's a lot of the not so controversial opportunities for video, like videos that we can do for tutorials, very simplistic animations, and it also saves up a lot of time. It saves up like resources. You don't need to know how to edit a video. You can just ask the AI to do this maybe simple tutorial, how to guide, and it will help you with that as well. And AI's strength is somewhere along the lines of the dynamic. We know it to be true. So there's one very cool option right now available about dynamic video ads, where AI kind of specifies exact video content for each user, which is very beneficial for industries like fashion, where you have a huge target audience and just this overwhelming feeling that your marketing team needs to adjust it for every group. But now you can target each person specifically on data-driven resources. So it will be always data-driven. It will always know what your customer really wants, what it has used. But here, the limitation, it's quite pricey. So you need to be aware of your budget, and if it falls down to your opportunity to use this solution. And Then we have text, right? I'm true, I told about text, don't lie to me. I told about images, and I told about videos. Yes, where it all ties together. Well, if we think about it, AI can be used by anyone. Anyone can harness the powers of AI. And whether you are just using something I already told, or maybe you are waiting those big advancements that are coming, maybe you want to do some more fun with chatbots that do quizzes with your people and gives them out prizes, or you are just monetizing maybe your ChatGPT modules. It's all good. But wrapping it up, the most important part to use this AI tool smartly is to think about responsibility. And this ties together everything I just told you about. And you need to use the resources we have right now, because there are a lot of gray areas, but there is a fair use doctrine that kind of has some insights regarding that. And you always need to be sure about the GDPR laws. And as long as you follow with what is up now and await what is yet to come, you will be using AI responsibly. And I know that on your minds there's like, there's a lot more information you can tell us. Why don't you do it? You're right. There is a lot more. But I just wanted to add that cliffhanger to my presentation. So you need to come to me and talk to me, because otherwise no one talks to me. But yeah, I just wanted to add something that we can still discuss. And as long as we think about it, we are in the safe space. And remember that we are here, and we are the ones making the difference. Thank you. So actually, I kind of wanted to do some research with you. If I'm making a presentation about AI, and AI has to do our work for us, then I said, this will be my audience. They will be smart, good-looking, you know. And what are the questions that they could ask me after this presentation? Ta-da! It kind of said that these would be the wonderings on your mind, and now we can actually check if that would be true or not, if it's far along or not. But if you have any questions, please be sure to ask those. I see one hand, Luca. No. Put it back down. Put it in your pocket.
Okay. I've been to Universal Studios for the last 2 days, and after the ride, they displayed these beautiful pictures of yourself with some weird surrounding. That was nothing like the roller coaster you just attended. But
really?
It also displays this huge white watermark on it. So, I started to play with ChatGPT for asking him to remove the watermark. And, with like tens of prompts I found on the internet to remove watermarks, it was like above his skills. So how can you rely on such a tool that it cannot even remove the watermark?
Yeah, it cannot scam you, right? It cannot ask you to do it.
I can do it with Adobe Photoshop, this web version. You select the watermark, you make it darker, and it works. But how you use GPTs for e-commerces and how you rely on them, because I don't find them yet another time as reliable as I would advertise to my clients. So
you're asking me how to scam the system, or you're asking me if ChatGPT kind of how?
If you were to be a scammer, how would you do it? Because I don't see so many quality in GPTs that are available right now.
Yeah, this is probably one of the limitations. So you can come up and present with me like additional part, but yeah, this is a good example of the limitation. And as I told, you need to, these are very practical, very grounded things that you can use. And they are safer than, for example, something bit more advanced that you want to do right now. And there are possibilities, probably there are another AI tool that could do it. But we haven't explored it, and this is also a question of how legal everything is relying to it. Because the systems is also made to kind of avoid these. Right now you see that also all the latest versions are very aware about any racial issues or trying to avoid any bias. If you ask it for a dark joke, it will give you kind of a tagline that, but this is not normal, this is not approachable. So it kind of, the system also could not do it because maybe of some limitations in their algorithms, but I'm not really sure to that part. But yeah.
Hi. We've talked about using AI for generating content or utilizing it for photos, images, videos. Especially in the e-commerce concept, people talk about training AI as well. So is there some opportunity available today that you could maybe train AI to enhance something with respect to your website, your content, to make it better? Like, what opportunities are available? Is there any opportunity available today?
Yeah, actually there is. And if you are looking kind of apart from creating something of your own, it would be quite hard. And it means if you would just do it from scratch, you need to create an algorithms and then find these data sets it can be trained on. But I think we also discussed with my development team, Myris, today or yesterday, this approach that also ChatGPT can be trained, and you can purchase this additional module or something for additional price, and each prompt would cost you, of course, but you can train it. But it's maybe not as good approach if you would just rely upon some existing framework and using some libraries already provided, so you don't need to do the base thing, but you can train it after a while. But this is like my retrospective idea about it, so I'm not maybe that technical, but you can come to Myris and ask him about it. He will tell you everything from development point of view up to how to do it and exactly which library you need to use. But yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much, Elina.
Thank you very much.